Welcome once again to our health talk every single week as we focus on health, a healthier version of you, a healthier version of us, living a healthier lifestyle as we have stepped into 2026 and beyond. So, for those of you who have made it to this far, and for us who are pursuing a healthier version of us, I want to welcome you to our weekly health talk, which we have been doing for over a year. So I'm so proud of the fact that my husband, Cornell, and I took this initiative to start this campaign of being proactive with our health, being proactive as we share the information with you as you join us every single week. I want to say thank you for all those who invested their time for the health that they are bringing into their new year by learning new ways of becoming healthier. We share tips and strategies, and just to put it in, let everyone know who are seeking for a better version of them in the way of a healthier lifestyle. We are not health practitioners. We don't have that doctrine, but what we are health enthusiasts. We have a our brand is all about healthier lifestyle, healthier living, embracing, yourself as you become the better version of you in the way of your well-being. And of course, to bring your body back into a homeostasis stage by eating the right things, sleeping, talking, thinking, just pouring into yourself as you rebuild your health. Or if you're on the way to improving your health. But many of us, we have different stages of our health journey. Some are, not so not so well in the way of your health, because we know we have many individuals who are highly stressed or maybe suffering from a disease, which the body itself, when it's not at ease, that's where disease comes. So when it's not balanced, things happen. And of course, your body is your best indicator. It does not lie, it tells you exactly how it feels. So what you put in, input, output, what you put into your mind, your body, your spirit, as you fuel yourself, as you take care of yourself. This is what we are all about. So, again, my name is Kerry-Ann Joseph-McLean. For those of you who are new to the call, for those who come here every single week to join us and to be able to learn more, my husband and I, we've been married for over 15 years. And we are not only husband and wife, we're best friends, confidants, as well as business partners and lifelong, partners in life. So I just want to be able to share with you some information on today's topic. What we're speaking on today's topic is sort of embracing or sharing tips of how to enhance your quality of life as you age, as I age, as we all age. That's part of life. And so we want to talk about quality of life tips and, of course, to sort of do checks and balances to see how we can improve our standard of living to a better quality of life. I'm going to share my screen with you. Just give me just a moment as I do that. Okay, there we go. So hopefully you can see my screen and we're good to go. Awesome. If you can see my screen, put a one in the chat. Just want to make sure you can. Okay, thank you. All right, so as we go through all of this, the information I'm sharing with you, please keep in mind that most of the information I get, as I mentioned before, we're not health practitioners, we're health enthusiasts. So we go to credible sites. I visit Harvard website on health, Yale. I go to PubMed.gov, which is a public medical library. I also go to other sites as well, like depending on the topic I'm sharing or speaking with you about. I go to websites like Mayo Clinic, John Hopkins. I go to other sites like the World Health Organization. I go to many others, and of course, I may have footnotes along my slides so you can see where I get the information from. And if you need to find out more information, more detail, let's say articles, or findings, I can share it with you offline. Of course, not a problem. I'd be more than happy, and Cornel and I would be more than happy to share more information with you because health is wealth. So as we share on this creating a path of a healthier life talk, that's our actual health talk we have every single week, is showing sharing tips of how to improve life quality. So we are always, at different cycles. There's a saying that every 7 years our body does a whole new cycle of life, and of course everything changes in our body. And so we want to sort of check where you are, what's your status in your health, and to see the progress of either declining or improving. So when you do this, do a mental check or maybe take some notes down. Maybe things will come to you, some insights, some hindsights, some flashbacks as to how you see yourself, where you are now, and be honest with yourself, and just to sort of be, you know, more forgiving of yourself is to not be too overly critical of yourself as you're doing these checkpoints, as you're taking a hard look as to where you are with your health, because many of us sometimes we go through life and we're not sort of super focused on ourselves. We're focused on family, work, finances, everything else except health. So we tend to put ourselves on the back burner until something happens where we become reactive. So healthy living means being proactive, being mindful, being present, and self-aware of where you are, and to know that it's never too late. Once you have life, once you have breath, everything is possible to change things around. Everyone's body is different, so it will respond differently, but just knowing that you're doing your optimum best, you will be able to know with that feel good feeling that you're doing the right thing, you're moving in the right direction, just press forward. So the quality of life is values. For example, your integrity that you have with your body, feeling safe, because most people want to feel safe when they're going about their daily life. So that can, if you don't feel that way, you can have undue stress, which can trigger illness. Feeling self-worth, all of these things are tied to our emotions, especially our gut, which is a gastrointestinal, our GI tract impacts our emotions because where we store our emotions. Having a structure, having a plan, and have a sense of belonging. So most of us have family, some of us don't. And so you may create your own family through the circle of friends you have, people that you know, like, and trust, so that you have a sense of belonging, social participation, not isolating yourself, especially when there's certain type of health crises that are happening around the world, where there's a shutdown that might happen. So the social participation may not be as available, really available. But now that we're beyond that, you can try to put yourself into a position to have more participation, not feeling so isolated, because that can cause your mental health and your physical health to decline. Meaningful daily activities, find hobbies, do things that can help you to have a sense of purpose. Volunteering, different things you can actually pinpoint that brings you joy. And of course, your inner contentment, not seeking outside validation, not seeking for happiness outside, these are added bonuses, but also having a sense of contentment with yourself and where you are in your life and your life purpose. So improving a life quality, of course, as I mentioned, is to check your status of where your health is, where your quality of life is. And you're doing this, it's not as a resolution you're creating if you haven't done one. Most people tend to focus on doing resolutions, which, in my opinion, doesn't really work. Good intentions are sometimes go to the side, but being mindful every single day, being on purpose, moving with integrity, and knowing that as you being your best self, you're becoming your best self. I call it a human becoming. So there's no secret. In order to be a best self, you need to take care of yourself, especially if you're pursuing new goals and dreams for 2026 and beyond. You have to be the healthiest version of you. So mentally, spiritually, physically, all of these, they go hand in hand. And one is off balance, it impacts the rest. So how you feel about yourself, the emotions, all of that ties into your health, your well-being. So we tend to be more proactive and productive when we feel our best. And so sometimes it's just starting instead of trying to overthink and analyze as, oh my gosh, I started this and it didn't work. I fell off the wagon and I'm going to keep starting. I've been doing this for 20 years and nothing's changing. But it doesn't matter. You're starting from now. So how do you improve your life quality depends on your mindset first. your belief in yourself and your abilities that you can actually rise up again and do what you have to do, even if in small incremental steps. So physically, when we're in good shape, we feel better. When we feel better, that energy that you emit impacts your household, impacts people that are around you, people that you're speaking with. They can feel that your energy has shifted. So overall well-being, the importance of taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's self-preservation. So your mental health, physical health, go hand in hand, creating that healthier lifestyle that you desire. Doesn't mean that you have to be perfect. You don't have to have the perfect body according to social norms, but being your best version and being content with who you are. And of course, it varies from person to person. The first thing I want to share with you is your mind. You have to challenge your brain. Doesn't matter what age you are or stage in your life, I call it seasons of life. All right. So as you're doing this, you want to be mindful because as there's different seasons in life for men and women, the brain, there could be decline in cognition, cognitive thoughts, memories, all of these things. And may not necessarily be aging. It could be that you're highly stressed, your body's stressed, you may have toxins, you may have many things that are imbalanced that's causing these memory lapse, problem solving, even your cognition, especially when certain things like sleep deprivation can happen. Unbeknownst to you, this can actually have a domino effect. So there's little tips you can do. My challenge for 2026 is to learn a new language. So what is your new challenge, right? For yourself, for your brain, to have that brain. It's like a muscle, right? So if you don't use it, it shrinks. So also protecting your skin. There's many things that we don't realize that your skin is your largest organ. So what you put on your skin goes into your system, goes into your organs. So be very careful of the toxins that you're putting on your skin. Of course, that's the first thing you need to do. Another thing as well is to reduce the stress in your life so that you don't have premature aging. Different cultures have different ways of aging with their skin. Of course, their diet is important. How you process problems, you think, how you sleep, what you eat, all these things. So be careful of that, or be mindful of that. Excessive dryness, especially here in Canada, in North America, where there's a lot of different seasons, of course, 4 seasons, but of course, excessive dryness can happen. Skin cancer can happen, even if you are not, if you have melanin in your skin, you are actually still susceptible to skin cancer. So be mindful of that. If you tend to move towards sunscreen, make sure it's something that doesn't have a whole bunch of chemicals, moisturize your skin, prevent all these things. Now, wrinkles and all these things, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just how you, depending on what you're doing, you may have more aggressive in skin change versus the normal progression as you age. So stay hydrated, keep that glowing skin, rest well, other things in place. I'm going to share that with you. So things that would promote elasticity in your skin as you age is also important. So I'll share that with you as well. Staying social, as I mentioned to you, is very important. Pick things that you gravitate to in the way of that brings you joy and also relief loneliness. Even if you're shy or an introvert, you may be able to connect with one person or two people so that you feel like you're included without feeling anxious, because anxiety and depression can go hand in hand, especially when you're isolated. And then trying to put yourself out there without feeling rejected it takes an extra set of courage. So just be, as you go through the process of staying social, gravitate to things you like, and then of course take step by step, baby steps as you sort of incorporate yourself into that type of environment. So this will help you also with known to help you with memory, cognition, having that sense of purpose and fulfillment. And of course, this is you putting yourself out face to face with individuals, not just on social media. So well-being in your social network, in taking care of yourself, all of these, there's a connectivity. So well-being as you move from where you are in your everyday life, which is basically your standards of life and your quality of life, is being mindful. So being grounded, feeling connected, being active, being thoughtful, feeling balanced or being balanced, being curious, always learning, always striving. And these things go hand in hand. Now, you don't have to sort of um, master all, but taking baby steps. So another thing for social connection is when you have a social connection environment, there's a structure. So one, two, or three people. As I mentioned to you, if you tend to be very shy and introvert, start up with one person, and then you can gravitate, and then as you feel more comfortable. So, for example, there's a structure behind it, the type of quality of the connectivity, of course, is function as to the information that you're relaying and as you're providing the support for yourself and for others and vice versa. So that actually, when you don't have a social connection, there's feeling of loneliness, especially in as you age. Some people may go into homes or they live by themselves. So there's hurts that happen when your relationships do not match what you want. So be very careful. Sort of do your due diligence to make sure you're connecting with the right individuals, the right connections. Social isolation is a real thing. It happens in many cultures. And as far as I know, in the eastern part of the world, some parts it's actually more severe than, let's say, the western side of the world, but it happens nonetheless. So the study through the World Health Organization that shows this, that it's actually been studied. So having few relationships is not seeing people often enough, but also being that connectivity helps to reduce the feeling of loneliness and social isolation. Another reminder for your improving your quality of life, especially to the men. Sometimes they put it off. Some people, especially in our culture, we don't want to know because we're scared to know what's happening with our body because in case something negative happens, we get a negative report. But it's better to know than not to know. So get a checkup. I know as a woman for myself, as a caregiver at one time with my mom, I put off my health for a couple of years for certain things I had to do. But thankfully, I'm back on track. So none of us are perfect. We just have to be able to recalibrate, get back on our feet and to be able to do what we have to do. And the first thing is to get a checkup, your blood work, your vitals, all of that. One tip as well, if you're a person who is non-Caucasian, always ask to do a vitamin D test to see if you're deficient or not, because that's not a regular test that can be as free under our coverage, especially here under Canada or even North America, but it's something that can be requested as a full blood workup. So be sure to discuss all your what your findings are, what you're feeling, keep track of it, articulate with your speak with your doctor, practitioner to say, okay, these are the symptoms I'm having. And then as they send you for specialists or extra tests, then they can actually pinpoint these things and to sort of rule out things that may or may not be a health concern. So early detection is basically for longevity of life, not just to identify health issues, but also to manage some of the things you may be going through that, unbeknownst to you, is happening in your body, and also brings a peace of mind. So that anxious feeling you may be having as what's happening with you, why am I feeling this way? This sort of eliminates that. But also sometimes those who go to the doctor, they have the moments of anxiety. But again, it's better to know than not to know. Moving is important, staying active, can get harder as you age. So you can do low impact exercise. I have a very good friend. I think she's 70 now, and she's like a fish. She swims like 20 laps, in the pool. And that's her therapy, so to speak, that she does because that helps her with that feel good feeling. It eliminates the pain in her body. She has I think scoliosis in her spine, so this helps her. And walking, I did that for some time. That's my goal for 2026 to get back to my 6 miles. But you do your what you're able to do until you sort of increase it incrementally, and then you know what day is best for you, how to stay active. You may not feel motivated, reach out to a friend, maybe do a WhatsApp video or something, some ways of staying connected and motivated. So the benefits of that is that you improve your heart health, enhance your balance and flexibility, especially as you age, and also boost your mood and your energy level. Very, very important. Because if you don't feel good, you don't and make the right choices. So movement is a life. Life is a process. It improves quality of the process, and you improve your quality of life itself, but your overall well-being, it helps with many things. As you move, you find you may sleep better, your energy is different, your mood is different. You will reduce you or slow down, so to speak, some of the chronic illnesses you might have. Of course, maintaining, optimizing your cognition is the most important thing as well, because your brain function, your brain it actually, sort of signals to every other part of your body. And so if it's not working the way it's supposed to work, it can impact your overall well-being. So contributing to a healthy aging is better mobility as you age. I apologize for that. So another thing as well is eating a balanced diet. Be mindful of that. So try things to incorporate that will help support your digestive health, reducing the risk of chronic disease like heart and diabetes, especially if your family has a history of that. So through what you eat, lack of movement, all these things can go hand in hand. And it's no time like the present to actually check that. Another thing too as well is to enhance your energy level and overall vitality. What you eat, you find when you eat certain foods, you have better energy. When you eat food that are highly processed, you find that your energy is low, you may be more lethargic, and so that's an indicator because the body doesn't lie, it tells you exactly what it's feeling. So a healthier life, not only in what you eat, how you move, but also what you consume. Consuming more water helps the brain because our body has a lot more water than you actually think. So if you're thinking of your body functioning well or better when it is more hydrated, it actually has a more of an impact on your body than you think in a positive way. So it helps not only carry nutrients and oxygen to your cells, it protects and cushions your vital organs, helps your body absorb more nutrients more efficiently, and makes up 75% of your muscle. Who knew that, right? Water composes 75% of your brain. So if you find you have, foggy thinking, or you find that your thoughts are a little bit off, or your memory, could be that you're dehydrated. You just never know, right? Also, your bone composes of 20% of your of water that you actually, believe it or not, impacts you as well. And of course helps to cushion your joints. So another thing as well to consider is sleep. Sleep is foundation of all health. Prioritize your quality of sleep. I know it's hard for some, especially if you have different shift work, or if you're going through a certain season in your life where you may be going through menopause or andropause, or if sometimes you have issues, some it's not issues per se, but health challenges like ADD or ADHD. Some people who have the different symptoms which can impact their sleep, so they don't go into a REM sleep. So there are things you can do to improve that. So let's be mindful of that. Now, for those who are trying to get optimal hours of sleep, start off small. That's always been my challenge, especially for me. So that's something I know I have to focus on. So some people recommend 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Some people need less, some people need more. As you age, you may need more or less, depending on your body and your makeup of how your body's condition. Establish things that can help you relax before you go to bed. Screen time, reduce that amount. Make sure that you are in a you're unwinding before you sleep instead of having a higher level of energy, because that will also impact how you sleep and how long you sleep. And as you sleep, your body's rejuvenating itself. It improves the memory, concentration. So all these things are helping you to have a healthier lifestyle as you prioritize your health, and strengthens the sleep actually helps to strengthen the immune system. So less sleep, more prone to impacting your immune system in a negative way. More sleep or sufficient sleep actually improves it. Or as you sleep, your body is doing what it needs to do. So sleep is very important vital to your good health. Some tips I'm going to share with you. You can take a screen capture. Some of the things you can do is just dim the lights in the evenings, right? Avoid heavy eating heavy meals. Even doing some yoga or meditation before you go to bed, relaxing the body. If you're able to cut off your screen time, as I mentioned, because sometimes that can be an addiction. Going to bed and getting up at the same time can be challenging for some, especially if you have shift work, but do your best. Pick one or two things that will work for you and then slowly increment the rest. Like I said, you can actually take a screen capture of this and to help you to know what the steps are to repairing, healing, and restoring yourself. Practice relaxation, put aside some time for yourself. go into a quiet space. If you're at work and there's a quiet space you can go to put some relaxation music on and just breathing exercises as you go through your day to reduce the stress level and to calm yourself down, especially if you had a crazy day, crazy morning, crazy night. And then, of course, if you do that every single day, you actually can create a new habit. There's actually a book called Atomic Habits, and there's something I love. One of the key things that I do in there is called habit stacking. So most of us have sort of created some habits that are not good for our health or conducive to our health or better health. But if let's say you're a person of like being on a computer and or watching something, you can actually habit stack it by, going for a walk whilst you listen to your audios or maybe do some stretches as you're watching your television or doing something to help you. So it's have sort of habit stacking. Deep breathing deep as you're doing something else, right? Stretching, maybe put a reminder on your phone to remind you, okay, time for to deep breathing, time to do your techniques. And as you're doing that, you're physically feeling the effects in a positive way. But other than that, there are things working in your body to help you to reduce anxiety, improve your sleep quality when the time comes to sleep, but also your mental emotional health is impacted in a positive way. There's also something that you may not consider if you either have benefits or no benefits, but investing in yourself by therapeutic work where you can get, let's say, for example, massage or physiotherapy or chiropractic care. These actually help. Even reflexology is good. Acupuncture is good if needed. So these I call them body work. They help to reduce and relieve certain things. For example, anxiety and physical mental stress. It can actually is proven to help that. Now, is it going to alleviate it permanently? No, because we are walking, talking, breathing human beings, and so you will come across stressful moments. So you may incur stress again or anxious moments. But if you do this, let's say, systematically in a way where you're able to invest in your time, once a month, every 2 weeks, as you can, you find that you will feel different. Now, not only is it boosting blood circulation and speeding up healing and recovery time and other things that are beneficial to your body, it has been proven to work. So invest in that area so you can become the better version of you. Being mindful of stress is very, very real. Even just driving on the highway can induce stress, right? If you're not mindful. So practice mindfulness, relaxation techniques, set personal goals that align with your values. Don't overcompromise yourself in a way that you're giving too much of yourself that you feel depleted. Schedule your time for social and community connections. It's okay to say no or not right now. Don't overcommit yourself because you're saying yes to everything except yourself. And of course, your health comes first. And once you have enough of you reinvested into yourself for your self-care, you're able now to give of yourself. So make sure I call it the emotional bank account. If you deplete all of that, if you withdraw all of that, you don't have the ability to be the best version of yourself to you or your family. Another thing as well is know when to ask for help. No man is an island, no woman is an island. It's okay to say, I need help. Sometimes you're perceived as the strong one. It's okay to ask for help. Everyone has a breaking point. And so if you do that, you're able to minimize the impact on your health in a negative way. Also, for energy drains, be mindful of what drains your energy. Some people can be energy vampires. People who are family members or disrespectful coworkers or people you meet. Just random strangers can be energy drain your energy. So be mindful of that. I always like to say, guard your mind, guard your heart. So be mindful of that, but also have a heart that is willing to bring joy to others. It's also to be giving, but not where you deplete yourself. So learn how to identify, eliminate what individuals, or reduce your interaction time with those individuals to save more of your energy for doing things that brings you joy. Reducing interaction, not sort of disowning the person, but also just limiting the amount of interactions you have with that person. If you find yourself feeling very fatigued after that conversation or interaction, that's an indicator. Create a to-do list. Complete things that will, you can do in small incremental ways without overwhelming yourself. Don't keep piling things up every day to feel that sense of overwhelming, excuse me, emotion. Learn to accept situations, things you can control versus you can't control. I just said that today. But it's very, very true. What you can control what you can't, let go. And as you do that, you find you bring um, more of a balance in your life. Also, think of the foods that you consume. I mentioned before what you eat impacts your mood, impacts your how your energy is, impacts everything about you and your health. Over time, you find that these things will either help you or hurt you. So certain foods that that have powerful anti-aging properties or for healthier living, healthier lifestyle is foods that have that ability to fight oxidative stress, reduce inflammation, promote healthy cellular functions. But these things actually help not just for reversing aging, but also to bring a more balanced life, a healthier life. So find foods, research it, foods that are high in antioxidants, packed with that help to fight free radicals, healthy fats. Even if it's once or twice a week, you're eating fish or some sort of food that have healthy fats. Be mindful as well when you're eating food or fish that provide omega-3 fatty acids. Be mindful that you're not buying farm bred, but wild caught, because farm bred fish or these actually have a little antibiotics in them that go straight into your system, which actually is a negative impact on your body, especially if you are diabetic. Whole grain foods help to regulate your blood sugar levels, promote heart health. Nuts and seeds, rich in vitamins and minerals, supporting healthier skin, improve elasticity. You may gravitate to one type of food versus I might gravitate to another food, but make sure it's something that's going to give you the nutrients you need. We know that certain foods on the market, they are grown in soils that are heavily depleted. So be mindful as well that you may not be getting all the nutrients, but there's also supplements you can consider as well. Green tea, which I actually love, can be consumed that whether it's hot or cold, and it helps to fight against age-related disease. It also has a lot of anti-cancer properties as well, and a lot of um, uh, nutrients that help to fight off certain types of illnesses. So in your mind, think of what can I do to prioritize my antioxidants, focus on anti-inflammatory foods, maintain a healthy gut, stay hydrated, and control your intake of your sugar. When we're highly stressed, when we're sleep deprived, we tend to gravitate to the feel-good foods, which is the processed food versus the unprocessed food. And we crave more sugar, especially if individuals have been diagnosed with certain conditions. For example, if you are diagnosed with ADD, ADHD, or you're neurodivergent, or you find that you have insomnia or chronic insomnia, you find that you are diabetic, been diagnosed with that condition, or you have another condition that can actually spike your insulin or put your body off balance, you will crave sugar. And it's not just in your mind, it actually is a real thing. But think of it as well as not only are you moving right, sleeping right, thinking right, interacting right, consuming the right foods that have the right nutrients, but you may need more nutrients because, as I mentioned before, foods are depleted in some nutrients, especially in the soil that is grown. So think of superfoods, what you gravitate to, what your palate likes, you can do that, but also different things you can sort of like add to your daily regime for food consumption that helps to increase the amount of antioxidants, amino acids, nutrients, and vitamins, minerals in your system, and it will help you with living a healthier life as you move from just a standard of living to improving your quality of life. So superfoods is something that I recently found, well, not recently, I'd say about 15 years ago. And I sort of wanted to know what is superfood? It could be like, that marketing term. Really, there are actually foods on the planet that are superfoods that actually have more benefits, nutrients than the what you know about. So things like reishi, which is also called Ganoderma, on the lower left, you can see it looks like this. There's lion's mane, there's cordyceps, so those three mushrooms at the bottom left. These are considered food supplements, also on the class of medicinal mushrooms. So they are under two different categories, but they actually bring a lot of nutrients to your system. Also, spirulina, goji berry, aloe vera. I love these actually. I make spirulina in my smoothies with mangoes. But you have many ways you can have these things into your system. So what I want to focus on is three of the superfoods. Now, keep in mind on the hierarchy of all superfoods on the planet, reishi is considered number one in the way of the amount of nutrients you get that comes into your body and actually is absorbed and does what it needs to do in the way of supporting your well-being. We know that there are many superfoods on the planet you can use. What I love about reishi is it can be incorporated with other things as well. So it's not just on its own, it's a superfood, but you can complement it with other things as well. For example, lion's mane and cordyceps, which has a lot of benefits, which I'll share in a second. So we know that there's certain types of things we look for in foods. We know that antioxidants is one of them, but think of reishi as a superfood. The amount of antioxidants you get into the reishi is about 150 when you think of the international units and the measurements, versus let's say avocados. You may get 7 versus 150. So you're getting like more than, more than, let's say, 15 to 20 times more in the way of the dosage, depending on what you're consuming. Green tea has 54 versus 150, so 3 to 1. But you're consuming these things, but how often can you consume these things every single day and try to get the amount of nutrients you can consume? So think of you eating your regular food for fuel, but adding a superfood that actually helps to reduce the things we spoke about, like reducing your oxidative stress, reducing inflammation in your body because it's been proven to be anti-inflammatory. Not only is it supporting your well-being, it supports your circulation, helps your quality of sleep, it helps with the heating capacity. I can tell you this much with my mom who was diabetic. Even if she got a little nick on her skin, we know that diabetes skin that doesn't really heal that fast or well. But with mom, actually her skin was able to heal fast because she was consuming this in one of the beverages I'm going to share with you. Not only is it helping you with, for example, your skin, mental alertness, it provides a lot more things than what I'm stating here. There's over 3,000 case studies in PubMed.gov. You can take your time and go through and type in Canoderma or reishi and a health condition. And there's actual studies that have been shown for years on end with no invested financial interest from these individuals, the doctors and researchers who share this information. So you can actually check it out yourself. And at your leisure, you can go through all of the articles, but it's quite a lot. So the medicinal mushroom, as well as the food supplement, which is the reishi I'm going to share with you first, is very rich in nutrients. So it's low in calories, but high and packed with the right amount of nutrients you need for your body. So things like carbohydrates, protein, fibers, vitamins, these actually have been known to help to treat many ailments, and this actually has been found to do so. This actual mushroom, or I call it a food supplement. It is been used in Chinese, well, the eastern side of the world for over 2,000 years and plus. But there's over 3,000 studies here in North America and other places to show the benefits of this. So we know in foods we need antioxidants, terpenoids, flavonoids, all these things are really good for the body and brain. But I'm going to share with you this. This is what I want to talk about. The PubMed ID I'm sharing with you, the PMID, is where I found all the information on specific things. So we know the body when it's highly inflamed, when there's a lot of chronic pain, it can age the body, age the brain, the body. And when you have an illness, you can actually can actually have trigger anxiety and pain and depression. So when your body's balanced, getting the right thing in the homeostasis state, you know that you're getting the right foods, your body will respond accordingly. So it's actually helping your body to move to a wellness state. So we know that kind of itself has a high amount of polysaccharides and flavonoids, which means that the antioxidants you're getting, as I mentioned before, is sometimes double, quadruple, or even 10x what you normally get from a single serving of your favorite food, like, for example, avocados. The PubMed ID I'm sharing with you, as you can see at the upper from the top to the bottom, not only is it helping with your immune system, as I mentioned, if you're not getting enough sleep, your immune system can be compromised. This actually helps with supporting protective effect with your immune system. It helps to reverse and alleviate oxidative stress over time. It's been proven to do so. Now, keep in mind, everyone's body is different. So as your body has certain levels of toxicity, of health conditions, for example, chronic pain, all of these things, as you've accumulated this in your body over years, sometimes decades, as you're consuming something to help to alleviate or to reduce the impact on your these negative impact on your body may respond different than the other. So I'm sharing this with you so you get the information and you determine if it's a right fit for you. So not only is it helping with your brain function, your body, your cells, your blood, it actually supports your central nervous system. There's a saying, a friend of mine who is a also molecular nutritionist, Diane, she says whatever's holding your nervous system hostage has you. So if you're highly stressed, anxious, depressed, you have chronic pain and it's holding you hostage, that's all takes over your everyday life. So if you can find a solution where you can actually incorporate things to bring your body into a wellness state with the right amount of antioxidants and so forth, you can actually reverse some of those symptoms over time. And also it improves the cognition impairments. So imagine your brain is getting what it needs, the body's getting what it needs, and alleviating the neuronal damage. So your nerve condition, all of those, as long as your nerves are not dead, there's still hope. So it's not only improving your autoimmune system, it actually has the capability to give your body um, that ability to reverse or to um, have less exposure or occurrence of things like depression. So it's also known to treat mild to moderate to depression for those who may have been diagnosed with that. But that's also part of if you're not having the healthiest version of you present itself in the way of your health, these things can happen as a domino effect. So the PubMed studies I found have shown that it helps, it actually is considered as a dietary supplement for individuals who are deficient in antioxidants and all the things that they need for their system to work, for example, vitamins. So we know, for example, green tea has a high amount of vitamin C, E, and D. So think of you consuming green tea along with this, or if you're consuming your food along with this to increase your dietary supplement, which is a win-win. We talked about insomnia or sleep deprivation or prioritizing your sleep. We know that if the gut microbiota, through the studies we've found, if that is disrupted, so the brain and the gut, they signal, they communicate. If that is off balance or out of whack, then we know that your sleep will be compromised. So if you're consuming, for example, this food supplement, this superfood, it helps to promote sleep through the gut. So that means it's helping to repair and heal the gut. So over time, you're able to have a better quality of sleep. It's also known to be anti-fatigue, which aids in sleeping. So sometimes you sleep, you wake up and you're really tired, you still feel tired. That actually over time helps to eliminate that if you're consuming it. Now, the actual reishi organoderma grows into three stages. So it's called the mycelium, which is the root of the mushroom, which we call the internet of the mushroom. So underneath it actually grows this soil. Then you have the fruiting body, which you're seeing, which is the actual Ganoderma lucidum, also known as reishi. And there's a little tiny spores or seeds that grow in, they actually go back into the air, go back onto the plum logs, and they germinate to grow more for the cycle of life. So these three actually, either one are known to help with anti-fatigue and aid in sleeping. So it helps with reducing the sleep disturbance, helps improve restlessness, which some people get, even forgetfulness, because the brain is sort of like impacted in a way of decline cognition and also sleep disorder. So not only is it helping with all of these things, it can actually help you to get into a more REM sleep. Now, keep in mind, it's not a cure-all. If you're not doing the right things like reducing your screen time, getting into quiet space, and doing other things to balance yourself, you need to be able to be mindful of that as well. So it's not simply consuming the reishi and doing all the other bad habits. You have to go hand in hand to be able to help your body to do what it needs to do. So the Gundam itself has a high amount of polysaccharides and triterpenes. These actually help with anti-aging, so better quality of life. And also, um, not only is the Gundam a fruit in body itself, but the spores has helped prevent some disease such as insomnia, including chronic insomnia, which can happen over time. The Gundam itself has many other properties. We speak about, green tea, for example, it's high in antioxidants and helps with, is also known to exhibit anti-cancer properties. But people who have certain conditions, for example, your um, metabolic numbers may have declined as you age, you may increase in weight, maybe obesity, or even your aging is slowing down. When you consume these mushrooms, it actually helps to reverse all of those things over time. Again, it's incorporating that into your healthier lifestyle options that you're doing. Not only is it helping with these things, but I mentioned to you before about your the nutrients your body needs. So if you're consuming things that are not giving you the right nutrients, you'll find that your immune system compromised, sleep is in compromise, your intestines, your tract, all of that is actually compromised. But if you're consuming the Ganoderma with other nutrients, you're actually able to have those nutrients be absorbed. They absorb more efficiently into your system when you're taking the Ganoderma with your supplements, if you're taking any other supplements. It's also known to have no negative interaction if you're taking medication over the 3,000 studies that we've been able to go through in PubMed, not in its entirety, but thus far, there's no known negative interaction with any medication along with this type of mushroom. So if we're speaking of the three, which is lion's mane, cordyceps, and the Gandum lucidum, they all have these great properties. One of the things that a lot of people don't speak about is oxidative stress. So oxidative stress impacts your cells, which attacks the oxidative stress. If you have too much in your system, and the free radicals are attacking your body, it actually promotes aging in a negative way. And so if you're consuming things to slowing down the progression of aging, you need to give your body the right things and to do the right thing. So it not only are you getting a high amount of antioxidants when you consume Ganoderma, it actually alleviates the oxidative stress, as I mentioned before. But think of this, you can't see the oxidative stress inside of your body, but you can actually feel it in your body in the external. More aches and pains, slowing down, here, lack of sleep, all these things, and you're not quite able to put your finger on it. Again, refer to your doctor when you have these symptoms. Tell them so you can articulate because you're your best doctor. If you don't tell them, they don't know. But you're eating the right nutrients to help your body because traditional doctors do not study nutrition. So maybe you need to connect with a nutritionist along with your doctor so that you can know exactly what to consume. But as you're taking this, be able, as you're doing the right things, consider this actual mushroom. So we spoke about the oxidative stress. We know it impacts many areas of the body, including oxidative stress. But if you're thinking of um, your body having too much free radicals, you can't check. You don't know what if your body still has too many free radicals. You don't know that you're low in antioxidants. You just feel a different way. So if you're able to consume this in a way that is you're able to consume it, because normally it's quite bitter to taste, but if you put it into a tincture, it's quite bitter. But if you have a way of consuming it and you're enjoying it in a way, still getting the benefits, imagine your body now protecting itself against oxidative stress, which is equal to early aging. I spoke about the Ganoderma. I'm speaking about the cordyceps now. Cordyceps itself has on its own has many benefits. So it helps improve um, mild stress, chronic stress, to helping with sleep. It helps with, of course, your neuroprotection, your brain, your body, oxidative stress. You have a trauma, maybe you had like a trauma-induced situation in your personal life. This actually helps to sort of relieve some of those sort of symptoms. If your body's highly inflamed, you may not know until you start having a certain type of chronic pain, and then you may be diagnosed with that. But it helps many different areas, including your memory, energy. It can be consumed together with Ganoderma, even by itself, depending on what your interest is. So cordyceps is considered to be a health promoting food. Not only is it helping with preventing oxidative stress, it's also known to help with individuals who've had nerve damage or neuropathy, issues like insomnia, also for individuals who had anxiety or stress, and many other things. But it has many other benefits. I've had other recordings to show the benefits in different health conditions. It's been known to alleviate, help to improve. So cordyceps itself helps with anti-inflammation, has been known to be anti-inflammatory, but also is so to improve the oxidative stress that I mentioned before. But if you're thinking of other benefits, think of also lion's mane. So lion's mane itself it's actually known to help with the gut and the brain axis. So it supports the cognition function. You consume it, you actually, when I consume it myself, I feel a difference in my thought process, how it helps you to become more focused and can help with your concentration. But it helps with any individuals who've had stress or moodiness. So I mentioned before, you may be going through different seasons in your life, and you may find that you have a challenge with your mental energy, your moodiness, even your gut brain axis might be off. You don't realize, okay, why is my stomach why am I feeling a little bit off? It could be that you have a gut issue, right? There's something called leaky gut syndrome. So also it's improved in many other ways, but these are some of the things that I wanted to point out to you. So the gut-brain axis, it regulates many things: your stress, your appetite, your mood, digestion, overall health, sleep, pain sensation. So if you think of these things, if your gut microbiota is off and it's not regulating the way it's supposed to, it impacts everything else. So if it's off, you need to give it something to help it to alleviate those things, and lion's mane is known to do that. This is what I want to share with you. Our company, excuse me, Organo, we represent this brand for the last 15 years. We have consumed the products for the last 15 years every day without fail. Have seen some tremendous health improvements, including myself and my husband. He had a thyroid issue. Not making any health claims or sharing with you. He started consuming certain things and he noticed a difference. For myself and my allergies, it hasn't triggered in well over 14 and a half years or more. And so I've not had to take any type of antihistamines. I found it has helped many other ways. I don't get as many, and I don't get as many headaches as I would normally do. So my quality of life has improved in the way of my health. Are there other areas I still need to improve on? Yes, I do. Yes, you do. But at least we represent this brand that we want to bring this awareness to you. Our focus is to help people create a better and healthier, richer life. And so that's why we are a brand with a purpose. We so love the mission of the company to bring the treasures of the earth to the people of the world, like you and I, and we decided to partner up with them to be able to bring this to you, who we are in our circle of friends and family. And so being mindful and positive wellness is what we're about. Think of you making one small change, whether it's walking, sleeping more, eating right, consuming a supplement like this, is that can actually have a lasting impact to change the quality of your life. So these are the three I spoke about. So consider this could be a passport to holistic wellness by consuming something that can help you to have a better quality of life. And of course, as we are consuming what we need, that our body needs, it responds in kind. It tells you exactly how it feels. Either it's going to help or not. So what may help you, it all depends on what your body needs, right? So think of it as something that you can do to invest in your health for 2026. So we know through the Health Canada, we have the national product numbers to state that this particular mushroom, this all brand, is known to help to protect and create a healthier immune system and can help to fight infections and diseases. So not only is it that is in Canada, but we have over 36 qualifications worldwide to state that this our Canada, the quality, how it's grown, the impact actually is approved through all these certifications. So for us, we consider, and what we've been told, and through all of the awards we've received, even being in Forbes magazine, that we are a world leading brand. Imagine you consuming your everyday consumable items like coffee, tea, and hot cocoa that's infused with the Ganoderma or even with the reishi, sorry, the cordyceps and the lion's mane. The blue box you see, it has all three. This is the one I love. Right now it's a little bit on back order, but everything else is available. The king to your right has the spores, I mentioned the seeds, and everything else has the fruiting body. Now, if you gravitate to sweet, I would say you can do that, but you're still getting the Ganondorf into your system. If you're not a hot beverage kind of person, this also comes in the capsule. If you have a particular condition and you'd like to take a therapeutic dose to see what it does to your body, it comes in capsule form. I actually, my husband, my household, we take the capsules along with the beverages because I love hot beverages. The skincare that we have is under our brand because we have different parts of the ecosystem has no parabens, no nothing in the way of chemicals, no cruelty to animals. I've been using this for 5 years. On my skin, I love it because I can feel the difference, and it has manuka honey in there. There's also many other plants and extracts, all of these things that can help your skin because it's one of the things we talked about protecting your skin. Comes in also toothpaste. Kind of there is infusion to that. There's no fluoride as well. So your gums, your teeth, your body, your skin, all of that, your brain, you're getting all the goodness you need. This is what I mentioned before that the cordyceps can be infused with other food supplements. So in this case, we have a red tea that is naturally caffeine free, that has both the cordyceps and the ganoderma, and very high in nutrients, which like for example polyphenols and theanine. So if you're thinking of getting the right amount of antioxidants, you're consuming a tea or a coffee or hot cocoa, and you don't have to overthink it. You're taking the supplements you need without having to remind yourself because you gravitate to hot beverages, or if you go the extra step of the nutraceuticals, these are things you can consider, right? So, as I mentioned to you about the Royale, this is how it looks in the way of the packaging, but these are three infused and it has many, many, many benefits. These are the capsules I spoke about. So, we have them in three stages I mentioned before. The difference between ours and what's on the market, most companies, they are considered still organic, but they're grown in plastic bags. So think of you getting something that is grown without, for example, the spores. It can have the fruiting body, the mycelium, but not the spores, because it's not grown as nature intended. And think of it as you're getting less nutrients into your systems versus what is naturally and organically grown, which is ours. And this is where I spoke to you about the certification. And so we also have one more thing I want to share before I wrap up. Is this a part of our ecosystem? We have a tool or a system called cognition, which I actually love. It's in a way new way to optimize your brain. So for just 6 minutes a day, you practice this on your computer. This is special glasses you get, and you actually practice that, and you find as you improve, the system will sort of map. It's like an AI. It sort of tells you, uh, shows you how you're improving, and there's a report that comes out to help with cognition, and you find that your memory, your reflex times, your how you recall things actually will improve over time. I actually did this myself and I loved it. And there's a way you can test it without the glasses, of course. There's a free trial for 10 minutes on our website, or whoever invited you, they can refer you back to that. And you can actually test yourself for 10 minutes and assess yourself to see if it's something that could benefit you. And you don't need to sign up, you don't need to have a credit card. It's just basically try it for 10 minutes. And then whoever invited you to this presentation can share with you how you can invest in yourself to be able to continue this as you continue to improve your brain. So here I am here in the far left. That was me. with my hair a little bit different. I actually was able to do that. The gentleman on the bottom is firefighter Brian at the international airport here at in Canada, Ontario, and he did it himself. And upper right is Josh. He's I think he's in Alberta now, but a lot of people have done the testing beyond what I'm sharing with you. But these are real people like myself with real testimonials. And so we welcome you to discover wellness with us, with Organo, and to feel and to explore the power of Ganoderma. So there's actual this thinking there are real results, but only you can be the best indicator. There's actually a download PDF I have. If you'd like to just track what you're doing in the way of changing your habits, I can share that with you. And I don't have it here, but I can post it in the group. We have a Facebook group that we actually have all the recorded information with, and that you can actually get to learn more and more about the different topics, different uh, presentations we've done in the past year. If there's a specific condition you'd like to know about, we can share that with you. But whoever invited you, reach out to them. We can add you to our group. It's a private group for our customers only. We want to make sure it protects you. You'll feel safe. If there's more things you'd like to know, I'd be more than happy to share with you. With that, I want to thank you for your time. Are there any questions you may have? Awesome. So we are here again next Tuesday. If there's a particular topic you'd like us to discuss that we haven't discussed as yet, feel free to reach out and send a message, and we can do a presentation for you. I know we have Deborah here all the way from Tobago.
Good night,
And
everyone.
good night, good night. She actually is going to be a presenter in March. We're looking forward to you as you share some health tips. And so I want to thank each and every one of you. Again, we are going into 26 to be the healthiest and best version of ourselves. And as we grow together in numbers and strength as a community, we want to support each other. So have a great evening, everyone. Take care. Blessings to you. Be safe and have an excellent, excellent evening. Bye bye for now.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.